Okay, it's just after 1 Eastern. I think we can jump in and folks will continue to join. We're recording.
Nicole?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Are we?
Welcome
Are we
everybody
live?
to this webinar, and I'd like to introduce Nicole Field and Maria Remboulis from the United States Department of Labor to kick us off.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to New Jersey Tutoring Corps and Once National Apprenticeship webinar. Today, we'll be exploring the tutor occupation, the purpose of the national guideline standards for the occupation of tutor, how they support development of high-quality registered apprenticeship programs. And throughout this session, we will provide an overview of the organizations that we worked with to create the apprenticeable occupation of tutor and once who developed the National Guideline Standards. We will also discuss the critical need for improved reading proficiency and why it matters, highlighting tutoring as an effective solution. And we'll walk through the fundamentals of registered apprenticeship, the recognition of tutors as an apprenticeable occupation, development of national guideline standards. Finally, we will also highlight and outline how you can get involved, followed by Q&A and additional resources. So first, I would like to introduce my wonderful colleague, Maria Remboulis, the multi-state navigator with the Employment Training Administration. Maria?
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all. Thank you, Nicole.
And again, I'm Nicole Field, apprenticeship training representative with the United States Department of Labor. I have just spent about 5 years now supporting and expanding registered apprenticeships in the state of New Jersey. I have a strong background in education, and I bring understanding of curriculum development and workforce training in my role. I look forward to this webinar. Thanks for being here. Katherine?
Yep. I'm Katherine Bassett. I have the honor of serving as the founding CEO of the New Jersey Tutoring Corps, an organization that is a nonprofit providing tutoring services in New Jersey and the Philadelphia region for scholars, our term for students who are in grades kindergarten through 8 in both math and literacy. Matt?
Hi, everyone. Matt Pasternack, co-founder and CEO of Once. I'm really thrilled to be participating in this discussion alongside my esteemed colleagues who have even more expertise in this area than I do. So I'm excited to learn from them alongside the rest of you.
So we'll start with a little bit of an overview about the New Jersey Tutoring Corps. We are a nonprofit organization. We work to not only increase the academic skills of our scholars, but also to help to build their confidence in themselves as learners. Our typical scholar is 2, 3, 4 grade levels behind their peers in math and or literacy. And so oftentimes that confidence in myself as a learner, if I'm 4 grade levels behind in math, is not there. We co-design tutoring services with our partners, which are K-8 districts and community partners like the Boys and Girls Clubs. And we also, this is very important to us, are not only building the skills of our scholars, but we're helping to expand the educator pipeline through apprenticeship with the help of wonderful colleagues at the U.S. Department of Labor. We base our model on research, on the research of the Annenberg Institute and the National Student Support Accelerator. We embrace 4 key tenets: consistency, the same tutor works with the same scholar throughout a cycle; frequency, sessions 3 times a week in math and or literacy. So if you're a scholar in both math and literacy, it would be 3 times a week in math, 3 times a week in literacy. Duration of session, 30 to 60 minutes, and then ratios, tutor to scholar ratios of 1 to 1, up to 1 to 3. In a pinch, we will go as high as 1 to 4. Our journey in apprenticeship and in acquiring approval as a registered apprenticeship program for tutors began in May of 2023 when we met the amazing Nicole Field from the U.S. Department of Labor. We worked very closely with Nicole to develop our registered apprenticeship program model for tutors, submitted our apprenticeship application with her support, and we were approved in February of 24. There was just one problem. We were approved initially as a registered apprenticeship program for substitutes. We hire substitutes, but that's not what our program is. Our program is for tutoring, and we needed to be certified or approved as a registered apprenticeship program for tutors. Nicole took that ball and ran with it inside the United States Department of Labor, getting Tutor approved as an apprenticeable program. And if it were not for Nicole, we would not be talking about tutor apprenticeship in terms of a registered apprenticeship program or national guideline standards today. So Nicole, thank you. We enrolled our first program, 40 tutor apprentices, in the fall of 2025. We also secured a pre-apprenticeship grant from the New Jersey Department of Labor, which also funded our apprenticeship program getting launched and off the ground. And in June, we will be celebrating our first cohort that will be finishing up their work within their registered apprenticeship program for tutors. And I'm going to turn it over to Matt.
Wonderful. Again, great to speak with everyone. I think of Once in the Story as a fast follower. New Jersey Tutoring Corps and Nicole Field really kind of led the way in pointing out what is possible with tutoring apprenticeships. A quick introduction on Once. Once is a program that upskills paraprofessionals and school aides and teachers' assistants and other elementary school support staff to provide one-on-one reading tutoring to kindergartners and first graders in elementary schools. And we, as part of this program, have been very interested in how can paraprofessionals who are participating in Once also become apprentice tutors within their districts and earn the benefits that go along with that program. Katherine, if you'd advance the slide. Thank you so much. So again, just to finish up the quick overview of Once, it is daily one-on-one instruction that happens in person in kindergarten. Again, the instruction is being provided by paraprofessionals, by school aides, folks who can absolutely be apprentice tutors. They have no prior knowledge of teaching reading or necessarily teaching in general. And what they'll do is provide 15 minutes a day of instruction for the entire year. Their students start with no knowledge of reading. Again, this is beginning of kindergarten, and they can go as far as ending in a mid-second grade reading level. And all of the sessions are recorded, video recorded, because the student and the paraprofessional are sitting in front of an open laptop computer, and the school support staff receive live weekly coaching from the Once team on those recordings. I'm going to show two very short video clips just to make this a little more tangible. We're operating broadly across the United States in a number of states, not all of them yet. And Katherine, if you stop sharing, I'll just go ahead and give a brief overview, video overview of Once. Wonderful. All right.
There you go. Beautiful. Oi, oi. That one's fast. It's fast.
See some hug.
Good job. Can you say that again?
Hug.
Can you just say the word, read it fast?
Hug.
And I'll pause there, and just what we wanted to emphasize is just that side-by-side instruction. So you see the child is looking at the screen, and then the script for the apprentice tutor would be on the screen. And then just one more brief video to show what coaching looks like, because that's a really important part of the program.
You, how have sessions felt in terms of just the environment that you've been creating for the kids?
So like now that I know exactly how to present this new cycle and say these phonemes and read these words, it creates a good environment because they're able to feed off of me and say, you know, oh, this is not how we say it's and
where do you think we should sort of navigate to help him get back on track with understanding where he's going to start and what he's actually going to build on with that word?
On the onset first.
Exactly. You know he knows the sound, so you doing that with him isn't giving anything away.
The next word is going to rhyme with am. What is it going to rhyme with?
Am.
Go ahead.
Well.
Yeah!
All right, so just wanted to show sort of what those supports can look like for an apprentice tutor who is on the path to becoming a full tutor job, and then eventually a pre-apprentice teacher and teacher beyond that. And so just to close up this portion, once a school district becomes a program sponsor in the apprenticeship program, once can take care of the rest. So our part of what we contribute is training, materials, curriculum, coaching, which you got to watch a video of, and program support. And the benefits to the sponsoring school district are they can receive state level workforce board grants to support upskilling the apprentice tutors.
And now we're going to focus a little bit on the need, specifically the need in literacy. Matt?
Sure. So in literacy specifically, reading proficiency has declined, every year since the pandemic. It has stayed largely flat over the last 5 decades, even though there have been tremendous advances in the science of reading. So from a research perspective, we know so much more about how to teach children how to read, and yet from a results perspective, roughly the same number of students reading proficiently today as they were 50 years ago. And that's about a third of fourth graders. If we want to go to the next slide. And so to speak to the ONCE program, and Katherine, I know you'll speak to New Jersey Tutoring Corps, we've seen in repeated studies 20 hours of one-on-one tutoring driving a 20 percentile improvement in kindergarten reading. So what that looks like is that if you imagined 100 children lined up and you are placing children in that line based on how well they can read. If a child started number 40 in line, a 20 percentile improvement means they would move up to number 60 in line, with the goal being to get to 100, where they're reading better than all of their peers. So pretty exciting results from tutoring, and an illustration of what an apprentice tutoring program can really create, because these are existing staff members within districts who have no experience teaching reading, but are upskilled to get really outstanding results.
And for New Jersey Tutoring Corps, I'll share some end of year data from our school year 24-25 cycle. We started that cycle in literacy with about 5% of our scholars being on grade level in reading. And we ended the cycle with 20% of our scholars being on grade level. And remember that our scholars are typically 2, 3, 4 grade levels behind at the start. So that was a 15% increase in our scholars moving to on grade level. However, what's equally important to me, if you look at the dark red, which is 3 or more grade levels behind, and the pink, which is 2 or more grade levels behind, you can see over the course of the cycle, those 2 bars shrunk, and the gold which is one grade level behind, the light green just on grade level, and the dark green well on grade level, grew. So those scholars who were so far behind grew and moved forward in terms of their literacy skills. And Nicole, just a little bit of a reminder, we started the 24-25 school year. We had already served 15,000 scholars, employed 400 tutors, and had been identified with our registered apprenticeship program status with the U.S. Department of Labor. But, Nicole, you want to take the but? You have to come off mute.
I'm so sorry. You would think that I would get this now after the many years that we have been doing this. Sorry about that. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties over here today. So yes, the tutoring occupation was not approved. Once they brought that over to my attention, I researched it in depth and I said, this is a must for the education industry. So I worked with New Jersey Tutoring Corps and we developed the occupation to be deemed apprenticeable through the United States Department of Labor. Through that process, it did take a little bit of time, but we got there and we were able to get the bulletin, which basically is an outline of the industry standard for tutoring. So you can see the bulletin. It is 2420 or 2024-12, and that is on apprenticeship.gov. On there, it'll say who it was approved by through the national office, as well as the specific occupational title, along with the competencies and the related training instruction that correlates with those competencies out in the field. That will be provided at the end of this presentation through a resource as well, so you all can visit that.
So
Next
for
slide.
any tutoring provider or organization that wants to achieve approval as a registered apprenticeship program for tutors, that would not have been possible, not for New Jersey Tutoring Corps, not for once, if it were not for Nicole. So Nicole, thank you.
Thank you.
And this is a little snapshot of career pathways in an apprenticeship ecosystem. And if you look, it mirrors the career pathways or continuum of professional practice in education. We start with the tutor registered apprenticeship, then a teacher aide or paraprofessional registered apprenticeship, moving into in-service teacher apprenticeship programs, and now lead teacher or teacher leader apprenticeship programs. And then finally, for the moment, probably to grow as time goes on, principal registered apprenticeship programs. So every step of the way in the career of an educator, they can find support, they can find meaning in their profession through apprenticeships programs, every step of the way. Nicole?
Yes, so there are so many benefits to registered apprenticeship. I can talk for hours about this. But the main things is, it really does provide a flexible training option that ensures your employees develop the skills that you want them to. It's your training plan. And what we do is we make sure that we meet the employer needs, no matter what. We want to make sure that it demonstrates investment in your community. It improves productivity, profitability, bottom line return on investment. It's proven. There's recruiting and developing high skilled workers that helps you retain them as well as grow your organization. And educators, reduces turnover, improves loyalty, and retains top talent. You can also vet workers and instill your company's culture. It really does boost morale within one's organization. And after, I always see it in education, after a year, you can just see the benefits. And seeing these apprentices out there when working in the education industry, it's really rewarding to see these people being, graduated as registered apprentices and completing with that national credential. So tutor registered apprenticeship, it works. I mean, it works in all industries and it's a proven fact. for a workforce solution.
And just to piggyback with a real life story on what Nicole is outlining here, one of our apprentices who will be graduating in June from our apprenticeship program started her college career to become a teacher many, many years ago, got married, had children, never went back to it, is working as a paraprofessional, and through the registered apprenticeship program at New Jersey Tutoring Corps, she will now graduate in June from the apprenticeship program. And she just emailed me yesterday to let me know that through our partnership with one of the universities with which we partner in New Jersey, she is going to be receiving 9 forgotten, if you will, credits that are going to be applied to her account. So this is really an initiative that can reduce turnover and can grow your own within your organization. Thank you, Nicole. So just a quick overview of why tutoring is a solution in terms of registered apprenticeship programs for tutors. Structured on the job training, so earn while you learn. Apprentices are being paid as they are learning the teaching profession. They work with a mentor. Matt's organization and my organization call these coaches. So they are constantly being supervised, observed, and then receiving feedback from their mentor or coach. They are earning that money as they are going through the apprenticeship program. They are also receiving a lot of other kinds of support. So support from the colleges and universities that we work with that are offering them some tuition reduction, offering them course credits for tutoring hours served, which is huge. Support in preparing for their licensure assessments, and support in going through the state's credentialing process. They earn a portable, nationally recognized credential within the industry of education. And Matt and Maria and Nicole, turning over to you.
Thank you very much, Katherine. And hello, everyone. I'm going to talk a little bit about national guideline standards for once. Nicole and I worked together to develop the national guideline standards for the occupation of tutor. You can look at OA Bulletin 2026-32. We published this bulletin February 24th of this year, and you can download it at our apprenticeship.gov website. Next slide, please. Let me explain a little bit about what national guideline standards are. National guideline standards do not create a sponsor relationship. The standards are actually certified at the national level, and those standards are used to develop local standards for the tutor occupation. So once, for instance, would not be the sponsor. They are the provider of related instruction. Sponsors could include a school district, even the state education agency, nonprofits, charter schools, daycare centers, and other types of organizations. And the documentation for the local standards is embedded in the bulletin that establishes the guideline standards. And you could see on the slide that it's circled. It is the Appendix A. The Appendix A is the guts of every registered apprenticeship program. That is the document that explains the occupation, the on-the-job learning, the related instruction, the progressive wage increases, the probationary period, and all of the details regarding the occupation. Next slide, please.
This is just a highlight of another set of national guideline standards for tutors that is in development. New Jersey Tutoring Corps, working with the Partnership for Student Success, the Pathways Alliance, and the National Student Support Accelerator, drafted these national guideline standards, put them out for public comment, received comment, revised them, and now are awaiting approval from the United States Department of Labor. While we are waiting, we were not idle. We developed a tutor apprenticeship toolkit, and the barcode on your screen will take you to that toolkit. And you will receive this slide deck so you can take a snapshot of it then if you haven't already. How to get involved. Matt? Matt, you're on mute.
I am on mute indeed. How to get involved. From the Once perspective, if you are interested in launching, if you are a school district or a nonprofit or any of the organizations that Maria mentioned, if you're interested in learning more about becoming a program sponsor, one thing that you will likely also need as you begin your apprenticeship journey is a provider of related instruction or related technical instruction. And Once is one of those providers. So if you have the dream of starting an apprentice tutor program, but you don't know, what materials will the apprentice tutors need? What will coaching look like? How will they be trained? A million questions about, well, how do you actually operationalize that? That's where we can be great partners with, again, national guideline standards, as Maria and Nicole explained, that are already approved by Department of Labor. So you can skip a bunch of steps that New Jersey Tutoring Corps had to go through for many years in order to get some of these things approved. So that's how we can be helpful. But just to clarify, we are not a program sponsor. So we would need a partner who is a school district or a nonprofit that wants to set up an apprentice tutor program, and then we get to come and provide expertise under the program.
And like Once, New Jersey Tutoring Corps has been assisting other organizations, tutoring providers, etc., who are interested in achieving that approval from the United States Department of Labor as a registered apprenticeship program for tutors. And we're happy to share the journey that we undertook and where it landed and how our program is now being operationalized. And these are some resources on apprenticeship. Just some general resources. At the bottom is the most important resource. www.apprenticeship.gov will take you to the U.S. Department of Labor's website on apprenticeship, where you will find so many wonderful resources that will help you on your journey. And here is our contact information for Once, for New Jersey Tutoring Corps, and apprenticeship.gov again. It's so important, this link. And I think that that's it. So if there are any questions, we would be happy to answer them.
I don't currently see questions in the Q&A. For those who are attending, you're welcome to pop a question into the Q&A field so our panelists can address it.
I was a middle school teacher, so I have great wait time.
If you don't have a question, if you just want to put your thoughts in the chat, that's okay too.
Well, we'll go ahead and thank you for participating in today's webinar, for your time, for your interest, and for wanting to learn more about registered apprenticeship programs for tutors. Nicole, Maria, Matt.
Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you, and happy National Apprenticeship Week.
Yes, this is our kickoff.
Yes, and I just want to say I agree. Thank you to everyone participating. Very excited to be part of celebrating National Apprenticeship Week. And this process is complicated and there is a lot to learn. And I understand that folks may feel like you have so many questions, you're not even sure where to begin sort of in Q&A in a webinar. But, please reach out to Mindy on our team. Her email address is on the slide right now, to Katherine and Ashley at New Jersey Tutoring Corps. When the timing is right, we can certainly introduce you to Nicole and Maria and other wonderful folks in Department of Labor who can get all of your questions answered and really help you operationalize a program like this. We have a dream of one day seeing thousands and thousands of apprentice tutors all helping kids to learn.
And thank you, Sebastian, for all of your technological support.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.